that's the wrong stream. There we go. I went to Jacked instead of Bad Fanfiction.
Wrong
But okay,
stream.
we're not. We're good. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Remy McNeil, and joining me, as always, but slightly late, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian. Blame Tim Hortons.
Hello. Yes, and my grandfather, because he, as soon as I got home, he asked me to do something for him, and he took 10 minutes to explain it to me. A very simple concept.
Oh, grandparents.
It's
Yeah.
my regular parents are getting up there. It's like, well, I need you to do this thing, the thing. I'm like, please eloquate, please describe. What is thing? Say an actual noun, please.
That is a great question. What is thing? We should talk about this.
Yeah,
What
this will be
thing?
the deep philosophical question of the night, everyone. Please muse on this on your own time. What is thing?
A great movie in the 1980s by...
that's the thing. Different. Completely different concept.
It is now a remastered video game.
But yes, hello. Welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. This will be our last, for a little while, stream covering the Sith Resurgence, effectively the end of its coverage of The Force Awakens. Which, so far, hasn't been great, but yeah, good riddance. This has been hilariously bad, but I'm ready to move on to greener pastures. And speaking of which, oh, did I put it in the description? I may not have.
Yes, yes, you did.
Oh, I did?
Description of Discord or YouTube?
YouTube. The people that are already in here are in. I'll just get the link. I'll just get the link.
In his defense.
All right,
No.
I'm putting this in the description. Vote for next fic. There is a straw poll to vote for the next fic that we will read starting next week or the week after, depending how the holidays go. So, everyone, please, and I'll also put it here in the chat. There you go. Click on that straw poll. Make sure your votes are in so we can all decide what we're reading next week. There's a lot of lovely options. You get to choose 5 of them from that list. So go ahead. Go ham with it. No, there are ones that are marked on hiatus. Don't vote for those. Just like this, those are ones that are still relatively on ice because, oh boy, they were intense.
They were very naughty.
What are we doing in case of a tie? I will have veto power. I will
So that
have
explains
veto
why
power.
this fic was on there. Because I thought it was weird. I thought that was weird.
Yeah,
He will
yeah.
unleash his veto
The
powers.
ones on a separate list. I'm just saying.
I'll also
You know,
put
out
it
of
here in
all
the
the
chat for
fics
you
that were on
guys.
there,
There you go.
you know, out of all the fics that were on there, I'm surprised I didn't see SpongeBob Vietnam.
Oh, we
SpongeBob
forgot
what?
to add that, didn't we?
Yeah,
Did
I would have
we?
voted for it.
I thought we were going to add that to the list, but I don't know. That actually sounds like it'd just be like a goofy fic someone decided to write, not like a bad fic.
I mean, who knows? It could be trash.
Well, just because it's meant to be funny doesn't mean that it can't also be terribly written.
True.
Yeah.
that's fair.
It could be delicious garbage.
I mean, just look at full life consequences.
But yes, in the last chapter, or the last half chapter, as we go through this fic so slowly because it's fucking long chapters, they're unnecessarily long. Aliana and Rey meet Luke, or Jake Skywalker. The awful
Lucas.
interpretation of Luke, and he is no better than he was in the original. He's just kind of a bitter old man.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make much sense. Still a lot of problems that go into it.
There's only one way he can be made better. Kill Aliana.
Yes. And that's not going to happen. We all
It's
know
not.
that.
But it will happen in our dreams.
We can only dream.
Wake
If
up.
you're dreaming about this fanfic, frankly, I weep for you.
Yeah,
No,
frankly,
I'm
that's where you
imagining
off
that-
yourself in Minecraft.
I should. Deserve it.
But yes, we are going to basically pick up from the middle of this chapter where we got this lovely art that contributed to the cover art made by Lightning in My Hands, which will go forward until we get something else memey enough to substitute. And yeah, everyone, remember the rules. I and Twilight are the priority speakers. If we are talking, we expect you guys to quiet down. We like your comments and jibes and quips, but you don't forget that, like, if the conversation seems to die, just let it die. Don't hang on too long. We've got about 8.5
Let the past
pages
die.
to get through. So we got to make sure we go to a steady clip because, by God, this fic can be draining. So anyway,
We don't have time for your funny ha-has.
well,
Aha!
small ones. You get
What
small
about
ones.
hee-hees?
You see, that's what we're here for, the hee-hees, not so much the ha-has. Like too much time with the
Yes.
ha-has. The hee-hees perfect.
Or just have a ha. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. You get
Sometimes
one.
just a. Okay, or just sometimes just a. All right.
Lightning starting strong, I see.
But I made a splash though.
Already! Oh my God!
Oh, be prepared to bust out the top shelf. The top
Everyone
shelf.
in the chat, that's not an evoker.
All right, let's get into it. Omarosa? Luke asked as he approached Aliana, who was piling up firewood around the base of the Fury. She had taken the gathering wood for more outdoor gathering, as she thought about plans to have meals around a fire to ease the tension that was rapidly building up in the ship. However, she fumbled and dropped her vibroblade when Luke approached. Every time I read vibroblade.
Get
Oh.
your mind out of the gutter.
Also, wait, how much fucking wood is on this goddamned island? It was relatively, like, sparse of trees.
I've also
And mostly rocks.
I've also been on that island. There weren't any trees to my recollection.
Yeah, where is the wood for this place coming from?
Yeah.
This is a
Or
problem in the main one, too,
around.
for the record. This is a problem in
Around.
that series as well. What do you
I mean,
want?
to be fair, Lily is Canadian, and we don't know the concept of not trees in the vicinity.
Oh my God, if we
What is
dropped
this
if we
flat
dropped Lily in the
wasteland?
middle of the desert, what do you think would happen to her?
Die?
Bro, not
I mean,
even
okay,
the desert.
fair.
Just put her in a valley in California.
God, she lose her shit.
What do you want? Aliana asked, feeling very nervous as she found herself alone with Luke Skywalker. She just starts like fanning herself. Oh my God, it's Luke Skywalker. Oh. Turns out that she doesn't really hate him. She's just really horny for him.
Damn. Wait.
The most out of character thing to happen in this entire series.
Yes.
We gotta take away her L card.
no longer the gold star.
She's
I-
Schrodinger's LPT.
I wanted to talk to you, Luke said, approaching carefully. You're curious. Aliana's expression tilted slightly into confusion, but still very much on edge. About you? No, not really, she says, still fanning herself. No, she said, shaking her head. Luke resisted the urge to
response is
roll his
that?
eyes. I meant you're unusual, he clarified. I'm trying to go for a crow voice, but I'm going with solid snake apparently today.
This go with whatever works, all right?
Aliana stared.
Master Yoda, I was trying to get through this Death Star, but the climb of my
She keeps alerting the turrets.
These ripples through the Force.
Aliana stared at him for a moment, then jerked her head to beacon him towards the separate pile she'd made a short way from the Fury's ramp. She held a hand out to it and ignited it with a bolt of force lightning, sitting down on a rock. All right, what did you want to talk about? He remained standing as Aliana sat down. Who are you? He asked plainly. Because I've met more than a few Sith Lords in my time. Even more than were twisted by the dark side. That is the Sith.
What? This is.
You literally described all of them. You dumb
I have
bitch.
met many
It's literally
Christians in my
just the Sith.
time, many of which worship Jesus.
I met many cool people in my time. Many of them were cool.
Oh. You, Omarosa, are something else entirely. What's your story? What in the galaxy makes a Sith like you? My story? All right, Aliana said, sitting forward and propping her arms on her legs. Oh my fucking God, are we actually going through this again? Born
Yes.
to a Sith Lord mother, raised by her, trained by her, became an oddity in the Force. Mother was killed. Oh my God, you I want to strangle her. Mother was killed by a Jedi master, drifted for years doing mercenary work and self-teaching with Sith holocrons, met a scavenger, became her friend, fell in love, stopped a 1,000-mile-wide death beam from destroying the Republic. It was cool. You should have seen it. Now I'm here guarding my scavenger friend while she tries to become a Jedi, and I'm also trying to get into her fucking pants. And yours too. That's my story, Master Skywalker. I may have embellished part of it.
You could say you might have embellished, but I honestly can't tell the difference anymore.
Well, that's the thing.
Wait.
Oh my god, the levels of conceit in this fucking paragraph.
Yes.
Who the hell would get to 14 chapters in and not know the need a recap?
Also, why the
She's a
fuck
conceit
would
master.
say
Now,
this?
to be fair, sometimes they're like, it takes months for a fic to update. So updating them, giving brief summaries every once in a while isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's so... There's something about the
This
way
is like a
it's that's
sledgehammer.
there's no grace here. It's literally just tell us your backstory a fucking again. I'm sorry that it hasn't been told to us every other fucking chapter at this point, and it's not like Lily isn't consistent with her updates, because she actually is relatively consistent, which probably explains the poor level of quality. It's very self-flating,
Among
yes.
other things.
Luke blinked, surprised by how dense and concise that story was. No, it was not dense at all.
I have several questions. If I heard that flat out, I would have so many fucking questions.
Please elaborate. Oddity in the Force. Can we talk at length about that, please? I don't know
I'd
if that's
ask you
ever
to
been
get out of
fucking
my-
I was
brought
about
up.
to say, did I miss something?
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. It's like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
I love the oxymoron. It's like it's like a big minivan. It's just
Who
contradictory.
keeps hopping
What
in
is
and out.
that piano?
As for where did oddity in the Force come from? Her ass. That's
Yeah.
the best I got.
Her body count.
Yeah, it's a fucking hemorrhoid. That's the oddity. All right.
I want to
All right, let's see. Luke blinked his surprise about how dense things. Whether that story was genuine or not still eluded him. How would he fucking fuck this guy? Fuck all this. All right, let's say for the sake of argument that I believe all of that. He began. Why is it that try to rise to power never occurs at any point in this story? What kind of Sith would oppose the kind of conquest that the First Order sets out to commit rather than join it? Why help the woman you love and join the order of your enemy? How do you identify as a Sith when every action you commit runs counterintuitive to that philosophy? Oh my god, I'm going to have an aneurysm. She's trying to fucking hang a lantern on this.
Yes.
Mhm.
She's about to mansplain to Luke fucking Skywalker why she's not like the other girls.
I would love by the end of this that she's like, so you're not a Sith. It's like, no, I'm a Sith. No, you're fucking not. Fucking, at best, you're a C&E Christian. Like this is the equivalent of a C&E Christian. I'm sorry, you only go to church every Christmas and Easter? Yeah, and you call yourself a proud... no, you're fucking not. You're a Christian of convenience.
As
Like,
a
you're a Sith
slayer
of
of Sith,
convenience.
I revoke your Sith card.
Which is weird. It's so fucking weird. Because, like, unlike Christianity... which is, like, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, put a lot of time out of your way to be a consistent and, like, active participant in the Christian community and faith. Unlike that, the Sith is all about self-interest. It's all about self-pleasure. It's all about your own power and taking what you want. There is no incentive whatsoever to do... Like there's no non-incentive. There's active incentive to adhere to the Sith, and she still doesn't. It blows my fucking mind. Oh my god!
And I mean, I've been saying this from the beginning. If she was just like self-serving from the beginning, like everything she did had like a way for like her to advance, that would be good. But no, she's just to quote the season song, she's doing good for goodness' sake, and that is not how a Sith operates.
Lightning! Oh my god!
Oh, what you do?
I like the detail you put the heads behind the characters too. You actually took that level of effort.
Why?
Oh my god!
You go that hard. I'm so impressed. Goddamn.
I
Oh,
see
so
he's
good.
busting out the top shelf
Yeah.
stuff.
well, let's
But-
take
but
that
yeah-
one at a
but yeah,
time,
this is
Master
what-
Skywalker, Aliana said. What power is there to rise to? With you here being a washed out hermit, Rey being untrained, your sister having no use for the Force, and Kylo Ren being a pathetic loser that he is, I am the most powerful Force user in the galaxy. Not as impressive as a title as it would have been 50 years ago, but what can I do? But why rise to power when I've already risen as high as I can go? That's not just I am a
That is bullshit.
That's not how that works.
Oh, you were
Okay.
going higher.
Galaxy.
You could always go higher.
political
This is
power,
why-
social power, monetary power, any other power than just being able to do the Force.
Me and having
This-
power.
Sexual
This is
power.
why-
You can bang fucking Rey however much you want if you were just evil enough to do it.
This is why more
Wow.
motherfuckers need to be like Eisen. I swear to God.
And for the record, I'm
Like-
not encouraging non-consenting. I'm making that very clear. I'm just saying if she were a Sith, that would be on the fucking table for her because she's not supposed to have a moral compunction.
I mean, Darth Maul was a
Also-
Sith, and he
What
was in
too
charge
much-
of freaking.
I find it very weird that the whole thing that she is saying is because you're old and crusty, you don't have a lot of power anymore. Therefore, I am somehow more powerful than you because I don't have depression.
You know, I honestly just want to see Luke beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
please.
I would literally pay money to see people beat
Minecraft.
the shit out of her. Anyone. All right?
A statement
Give
like
me
that.
give me the broom kid from the
Scary.
end of the Last Jedi and have him beat the shit out of her. Like, I would be so happy to see that.
All I gotta say is this is what too much KOTOR 2 does to a motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much.
She looked down
Not
at
saying
the,
that KOTOR 2 is bad, but
Shush.
jeez.
she
lay
looked
off.
down at the
Quiet.
fire and threw a few branches onto it, her crimson eyes shimmering in the firelight. Why didn't I join the First Order? Well, that one's a lot more simple, Aliana shrugged. I'm gay, and the First Order kills anyone they find who is. Also, it being led by a Jedi who can't fight with a lightsaber to save his life doesn't help matters.
What?
Hey, then why
So
not
Snoke's
take
a
it
Jedi?
over and make it not homophobic?
So
I'm
Snoke's a
sorry.
Jedi now?
I'm
That's
sorry. Hux is a general. You can't tell me that man isn't gay.
Well, to be fair, they did kill
No,
him.
you're looking at Hux, but I'm throwing this out there. General pride exists in the First Order.
It writes itself, ladies.
I
and
forgot he
gentlemen.
existed.
Is that
Sorry.
who I think it is?
No problem.
The
Um,
guys in Rebels exist.
Yeah, she glanced back
Is
up
it
at
the
Luke,
hair from-
watching as he seemed to be trying his hardest to maintain a Pazak. A Pazak face? Is that a word or is that a
What?
Star
I
Wars?
have absolutely no fucking idea.
Star
I
Wars
know what that is.
jargon or typo, you decide.
No.
Zach is a game in the Star Wars universe. It's a game in the Star Wars universe.
Oh,
I'm
It's
helping-
basically poker.
I'm helping
Guys.
Rey become a Jedi because it's what she wanted, Aliana continued. If she wanted to be a Sith, I would train her that way, but she chose to be a Jedi. The decision isn't up to me, and it's because I love her that I'm helping her get there. And how can I call myself a Sith? Because nothing I do runs contrary to the Sith code, and much of what I do is very unbecoming of a Jedi. I know it might seem like I'm calm and reasonable now, but if you were in a battle with me, you'd see how much of a ruthless shutta I can become.
What?
Shutta? Shutta? Bruschetta?
Shut
Yeah,
up.
whatever.
Bruschetta?
I was about to. I thought you said Shota.
Oh no! Oh
That's what
no!
I said.
Oh,
It makes too much sense!
oh god.
How about
Also, is she saying slang? What the fuck was
Yeah,
that?
it's Star Wars
Hey.
slang. I'm pretty sure on that one.
That is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, Aliana, how about you shut her the fuck up?
Lightning, you can
She's
shut up.
basically
Lightning, don't.
Haxtua! Haxtua, the thing!
No, no.
Okay.
she's
corner
basically
now.
saying because she is a Mary Sue, therefore it runs in line with Sith code.
Wait, Shuta is a Huttese curse word? Okay, sorry, I gotta reread that sentence. I know it might seem like I'm calm and reasonable now, but if you were in a battle with me, you'd see how much of a ruthless Shuta I can become. And then she goes,
That sounds so cringe.
Solo and Wookiee. Luke kept his gaze fixed on her for a long, silent moment. The only sound was the crackling of the fire in the shoreline winds. All right, then, Luke nodded. I suppose my last question is what you hope to gain from this. When Rey becomes a Jedi and single-handedly defeats the First Order, because that's all it takes, apparently, what then? A Sith cannot possibly be satisfied in a galaxy of stagnation that you just described. So what do you intend to do when this entire fiasco is over? Okay, wait, actually, it's something I need to address because it just occurred to me. So typically religions do have core beliefs, core, like, rule books. Christianity, it's the Bible. Islam, it's
there's
the
a first
Quran.
edition, a second edition.
Yeah, you
a third
have the
edition,
Islam
a fourth
Quran,
edition,
you have the
a fifth
Torah
edition.
for the Jews. But like, you know, that's and then
The Advanced Bible.
I don't know a lot of other non-Abrahamic religion texts, but I do know a lot of them have core texts. But beyond that, you then have quite a bit of study around those texts. And that's where the refinement upon the philosophies come from. So just because, it doesn't technically violate the code, does not mean you are a Sith. Okay? It means that you are ignoring that there's probably entire bodies of work that you have mentioned now studying Sith philosophy and giving firm understandings of it that you are completely ignoring in order to justify calling yourself something because you want to be a special little fucking snowflake.
Yep.
God, I fucking hate this character so much.
Also, and I'm just like with everything with religion, just like just using this as an example. Explain Hinduism in one sentence.
Explain Christianity in one sentence. Explain fucking
Judaism and everything else.
Judaism. Explain fucking Norse mythology.
Norse mythology in one sentence.
Okay. The exception to this is explain Greek mythology, which is just Zeus put his dick in something. That's really that.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
So many problems.
Pulling back, a god stuck his dick. Oh, it stuck their dick in something is actually more apparent.
I guess fair, yeah. Anyway,
it's not just Zeus.
I don't know. Settle down, get married. Wait, is that right? Where did I leave off? Would I finish that sentence with Luke? I think it did. Sith cannot possibly satisfy.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Settle down, get married, have kids, and an Octog. All right, I know it's probably like an actual dog type creature, but I'm imagining it's some weird fantasy version of a hot dog.
Same.
Yeah, it's probably.
Isn't
I'm starting
that
to realize
the
Star Wars
dream?
terminology kind of sucks.
Shush.
Isn't that the dream? Aliana smirked. Said smirk quickly fell from her face as she looked down into the fire. Wow, that sounds like very like typical not misogynistic, but like very patriarchal. There, Aliana.
Yeah.
That's like the standard patriarchal fantasy, isn't it? I don't know what I'm going to do, but there'll always be another war to fight. Some other rogue Jedi with delusions of grandeur, another Revan, another Vader. Keep his fucking name out of your goddamn mouth.
Revan has delusions of grandeur. Asshole.
You couldn't even say Malik. Come on.
Another Vader, another Kylo Ren. It never stops. Now, I'm not so naive to think that this will be the war to end all wars. Luke took a moment to consider his next words. Revan, huh? You really have done your research, he said, his tone almost impressed. Meanwhile, every single Star Wars fan is just like rolling their fucking eyes,
like the easiest guy to pull from.
Yeah,
His
literally
Everybody
one of the most
knows
famous
what's
Sith to have ever existed.
Yeah.
That's what pride in where you came from does, Aliana said, throwing another branch onto the fire. I am Sith. My whole family was Sith. I don't want to be anything else. I couldn't even if I wanted to. Even if I did want to.
You can. Oh my god.
You absolutely can. Like, people switch sides all the time in this
Well, no, I
franchise.
think she's implying she's actually like blood Sith as well.
Oh.
Sure.
I hate it.
Yeah, but they are talking about the religion, and she doesn't. If she was, yeah, she needs to distinguish that if she is, and if so, she could point out that the culture of the Sith isn't the same thing as the religion of the Sith.
Just like, fucking like, I am 1/28 Jewish, and so I'm going to go to Israel and eat lots of matzah. And it's like, okay, slow your fucking roll. All right, until you're 22, you didn't know that. And you've eaten a ton of fucking unleavened bread around times you shouldn't. So let's slow your fucking roll for a bit. You've got a lot of things you need to make up for. Fucking hell. A whole family of Sith? Luke asked. How far back does that go? 3,000 years to the days of the resurgent Sith Empire, Aliana explained. There isn't much of a legacy. For the most part, it's just individual Sith doing what they can to get by in the galaxy. We're not particularly strong in the Force, not like Anakin Skywalker was or Rey is now. Oh, I'm
So you're bitch made. You admit it.
Okay, first, you're an oddity in the fucking an oddity in the Force somehow, and you can track your lineage back 3,000 years. Holy shit! That's not a legacy. That is like the fucking legacy. There's not a lot of people that can track their lineages back hundreds of years, let alone anywhere near thousands.
Also, she calls him Vader and Anakin like every other sentence. Like, pick a freaking name for him. Like, was he Vader or was he Anakin?
How does anyone know that? That was
frankly,
secret.
The number of people that should know that who are currently alive is like less than the fingers you have on one hand.
Yeah.
That one I'll give her. It was like there was this novel where it was revealed that Anakin being Vader was leaked to the public. It's why Leia is.
It doesn't like the scale of that knowledge though is just. There's also problems with that, but that's like again that goes into the current EU
semantics.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Palpatine probably had it on file somewhere.
Just fucking stupid. Most people know him as Darth Vader. Luke arched a brow to Aliana. You just claim to have stopped a 1,000-mile-wide death beam from destroying the Republic, and you don't consider yourself particularly strong, he asked. I even known Darth Sidious to demonstrate that kind of power.
Aliana, do you know who Darth Sidious is?
We can't.
Why does he know so much about the Sith?
That one I'm actually kind of fine with. I would believe he would have records that refer to what's his face as Darth Sidious to some degree. Like Luke knowing shit, I can understand because he was trained by both Yoda and Obi-Wan. Like, and he also personally encountered Darth Sidious. So there's like there are levels of like believability to that.
Okay, I'll give him that.
No, that's fair. That's not what I'm asking about. How the fuck did you know about the giant laser feet?
She just told him.
She told him.
She just told him.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The key, Kaiser, because I'll help you out here with some quick English tip. The trick was the line you just claimed. That was the word that you should have read. So that gives you context that she said it.
Okay, I thought.
Unfortunate, bro.
Got him.
A little bit of dunking on Kaiser. It's good for the soul.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I haven't even. Sorry, Aliana was quiet for a moment, then sat up straight. I'm not like most Force users. Most of them, you, Kylo Ren, Rey, they're equally attuned to the light and dark side. I'm not. I'm attuned to the dark side only. So when I use the light, it's extremely weak and takes a great deal of energy out of me. But when I use the dark side, it's a lot more powerful than your typical Sith would demonstrate.
That's not how the Force works.
That's not how that works. We get it. Okay, we get it, Allie. You're a special little snowflake.
Yeah,
big wizard. Okay, like
I'm just. So, okay, no, we have problems here. We have serious problems here. So someone who has played either of the Old Republic games, you can only increase... when you take light side actions, you increase your attunement to the light side of the Force. Is that correct?
Yes.
I believe
Yes.
so, yeah.
So the
They-
fact that she
they
has
won't
not
let-
taken many Sith side actions, dark side actions, how the fuck is she so attuned to the dark side, and why is she not more attuned to the light side? This makes no sense. She hasn't been committing anything, like she hasn't been doing anything Sith-like for this entire fic. We have not seen her. I'm trying to think of a single thing that she's done that is Sith-like.
All the dark side attunement comes from the 6 dozen women she's fucked off screen.
Oh my god.
Quickly to just say, you can actually use dark side powers in KOTOR if you don't have, if you've only gone on the light side part. It's a game thing.
No, I get that. Like, but what I'm asking is like specifically the light dark attunement level specifically, not even the powers. I'm just the
basically,
attunement.
Raymond, at the beginning, you basically either have to make a choice whether or not to go all light side or all dark side. If you try to straddle the line, your character build will be like severely truncated. That's actually a problem a lot of people have with the games like that, because it doesn't let you straddle the line.
Gotcha.
Well, it makes it so that dark side powers cost more mana essentially if you choose it. Like that's really the only thing. So you can.
We're
that's
good on
probably
this
where she got it
conversation.
from.
I think
Okay, guys.
Gotta.
Isn't that just a game mechanic though?
Yes.
Let's not talk about this, guys.
I just wanted to make it clear that she's an idiot. That's just what I'm saying. Where was I? Sword. She eyed Luke carefully, trying to read him. When her attempts to probe his feelings came back with nothing, she conceded that he was simply more skilled than she was.
Yes.
The dark side draws its powers from... Oh, no, it's because he's not connected to the Force. Remember, he cuts that off? Like, that's why she can't read him. The dark side draws its powers from many different things. Anger, hate, fear. But none of them are more powerful than passion. Passion is the dark side in its purest form. Hikari Utada is such a fucking great songwriter. Aliana explained, channeling that can perform amazing feats of if controlled. The greater your passions, the greater the power you can draw upon. And doing that on Starkiller base still almost killed me regardless. No, it didn't.
It did?
You did the limp. That's all you did.
So it was the sex.
Luke began putting the pieces together in his mind before sighing. The Sith Lord saving the Republic from a planet killer with the power of love, he said. All right, I believe you.
Oh my
Why? No one would be so insane as to make that up. Yes, they would. This woman is insane.
So every time I get
Luke.
Also,
Luke,
she's a
why'd you drink-
self-professed Sith. She could just be selling you a load of fucking goods right now.
Luke, the first time you met Han, he said he did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
Okay,
Bro.
but apparently he did that. According to the news.
Oh, well, that makes
Also, every time
knows there.
Also, every time she says the power of love, I hear the miraculous ladybug theme in my head for some reason.
No, I just hear the song from Back to the Future. It's the power of love. All right.
I was obsessed with that show.
With that, he
Great
sat
God.
down on the ground across from Aliana. If I wasn't there, I wouldn't have believed it, Aliana smirked. I needed to sleep for 18 hours to recover from that. Don't ask me to do it again anytime soon. Trust me, I won't.
Rookie numbers.
Luke said,
18
waving the
hours.
notion off.
I know, right?
Fucking hell. All right, so you're on this planet and will remain here until Rey is complete with her training. I can live with that. So long as you do nothing to interfere with her training or disrupt the lives of the locals when then you'll be fine. All I'm teaching her is lightsaber combat, Aliana shrugged. Anything else I teach her is at her own request, but I will always stress to her the importance of not being afraid of the dark side. Luke grumbled at Aliana's conviction. Well, I suppose that will only help training her along, he admitted. His attention was then directed by a soft squeak that he heard from behind the rock Aliana was sitting on. Speaking of locals, it looks like you have guests. You have a guest. Oh my god, is she going to get a fucking porg as a companion?
Yes.
Chewie with the steel chair.
Hold it. Hold it.
Chewie, where are you? We need to cook some.
We need to cook.
Okay, I can't be the only one. The porg that Chewie was eating looked really fucking good.
Dude, it did.
Damn straight.
Bird meat.
It just looked like
Oh, that was a juicy little biggin.
Wait,
Like,
what?
like those things looked like they were just pure meat. Like, god damn.
Dude, the body fat on that thing, non-existent.
Yeah, since it's a penguin, you know it's loaded with that good fat.
All right, so
I like the porgs.
I mean, they're cute, but like they're so manipulative. They should have done that lightsaber
I mean,
thing
they're
for the record. I
merchandise.
know that was teased and like
it was in concept art.
yeah,
They
the
had
concept.
it.
They should have had like
legit,
one of
yeah.
them get killed by the lightsaber. Anyway, also Luke, why are you fucking doing this? This is so stupid. Aliana glanced behind her, looking surprised at the tiny creature that was hiding behind her. How many times can we say behind her in the same sentence?
Behind
Well,
her?
hey
least
there, she said softly, picking up the tiny creature and holding it in her hands behind her. What are you doing sneaking about, sweetie? She cooed as she stroked its head behind her. Must have been drawn by the warmth of the fire, Luke proposed, behind her. If it's out and about at this time of night, it must not have a nest to come back to. Poor little guy, Aliana cooed, completely forgetting about Luke as she watched the bird. It looked like a bird, at least. As she watched the bird curl up in the crook of her arm and chirp softly. What is it? It's called a porg, Luke answered plainly, genuinely surprised how taken with the critter Aliana appeared to be. Do you have a nest to keep it warm in? Aliana said softly as she stroked the porg's head. Do you want to come on my ship? I'm picking up all kinds of cuties. Might as well add you to it. That's the title of the chapter.
Yeah, there it is.
She said it. She said the thing.
Roll credits.
Sky Slasher, get out.
Like, legitimately, I would have loved, especially in the films, but even here, if like the porgs were just a nuisance. Like, they're cute, sure, but they're fucking billions of them all over this island, and they just start doing stupid shit like stealing your food. Like, it'd be hilarious if, like, you know, you see like Rey being so cautious with them and trying not to hurt them, and Luke's just like casually kicking them out of the way because he's so desensitized to them this entire
Like
time.
that. There's
kind of funny.
It's like that episode of Star Trek where the porgs just keep multiplying. Or
You mean the
the
tribbles?
The tribbles, yeah, they just keep multiplying on the ship.
The tribbles are great. We actually have one. We have one of those novelty tribbles. It's great.
Hey,
I just thought of a dumb joke.
Hey, I forgot to ask. Does Luke know that that's the daughter of the Sith he killed all those years ago?
Not
I
yet,
kind of
no.
checked.
Nah,
Okay, I was
his
kinda
We
force
should
puzzles
draw a
haven't gone off
conclusion,
yet.
though.
When is that? I am eagerly waiting for that bomb to just go off.
Limply.
Because
I think that's after
it'll
this
be
chapter.
something interesting.
Okay.
Vaguely interesting.
Tune it down,
Maybe
guys.
not.
Going back. Luke made a grunting noise as he stood up from the ground, dusting off his robes. They eat fish, mostly, he said, turning away. But any meat will do in a pinch. What do you mean by that? What other meat do you have on this island, Luke? What do you mean by that?
You know the one that provides him milk.
Where's R2, Luke? He hasn't been in this entire fic.
Are you implying R2 was meat?
Yes, I am. That's the secret. With he began walking away from the fire and back towards the small village without so much as a goodbye. Aliana paid Luke the same courtesy and didn't acknowledge him leaving. Quite frankly, she was relieved he was. She focused her attention on the porg snuggling into her arms as she continued cooing softly to it and sitting with her back against the rock so he could soak in the warmth of the fire. You are just snuggly little thing, aren't you? I've got to stop talking like this before I go back inside. Yes, I do. Gag me with a fucking spoon.
She did not just do that. She did not just do that.
Oh, yes, she did. Oh, yes, she did.
Oh, fuck off.
No, dude, this is set up for later when they're going to fight Sidious. She's going to throw the porg at him.
No, but
This is why I
legitimately,
envy the deaf.
This might be the first character that I genuinely want to strangle. That like it's been a really long time since I felt this angry at a character. She's so insufferable.
I would be very happy.
I think the last time was probably Davis.
I'd be happy if while she was like cooing at the porg, it like went out of like a chimpanzee and like bit part of her face off.
After a moment longer, Rey walked up to the fire, being bathed in its warmth. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank the Force. You made a... Oh, this is Rey, sorry. Oh, thank the Force. You made a fire. She paused, noticing the small creature in Aliana's arms. The sight was admittedly adorable, bringing a smile to Rey's face. Oh, I see you made a new friend, she noted. Mm-hmm. Aliana nodded as she looked up at her and smiled. He just crawled up to me when I was talking philosophy with the Jedi. Honestly, the porg is a much nicer experience. Oh yeah, I meant to ask you. She said, looking back towards where she saw Luke walking. I noticed Master Skywalker walking down when I arrived. Is everything okay? Yeah, just wanted to grill me on why a Sith was here, decidedly not eating puppies for breakfast. Aliana rolled her eyes. Same stuff with Leia, different miserable old Jedi. Yeah, but it's a legitimate question. Why aren't you eating puppies right now?
Yeah, what the fuck?
A very legitimate question.
Yeah.
You admitted
exist in Star Wars.
You literally admitted that you're an exception, and then you're rolling your eyes at them, thinking that you're being surprised that you're the exception.
It's
fucking
like
maddening.
somebody saying. It's like saying to somebody whose family got schmoidered by freaking nationalists or whatever, being all like, "Oh, so you're mad at the freaking those people? Get over it."
I was gonna say, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a terrorist, but I'm not one of those kinds of terrorists. All right, I'm a different kind of terrorist. It's like,
That's the ultimate.
what
What
does that mean?
The correct term is freedom fighter.
It's like I don't fucking get this entire character. She is like a walking contradiction in flesh.
She is.
That's my favorite Green Day song.
Oh. I see, Rey said, notably relieved that things didn't go too disastrously. With that taken care of, she took a seat by the fire across from Aliana. She was unable to take her eyes off how adorable Aliana was being with the porg. There's a think there's a place on the ship for him. Whatever, fucking, I'm not gonna read that again. Rey asked, half kidding. I'm sure I can find one. Aliana smiled, taking a piece of dried veg meat and holding it over the porg's mouth to see if he would take it. He's small. He'll fit right at home. I just told him I was picking up all sorts of cuties in my travels. Rey felt a deep blush spreading over her face. Would she use the dark cloak that Aliana gave her to conceal it? And for God's
You
sake,
worked really hard to say that out loud.
that was so...
Well,
Look, I am not always the smoothest savant with my flirting, but Jesus Christ, I am not like that. Oh, God.
I honestly like to see it. So she still, after all this time, has negative res.
Yep.
I have more Riz than her.
It's sure.
No, I do.
Oh,
Sure.
Don't argue, guys.
Oh, for God's sake, you're insufferable, she grumbled against the soft fabric. Aliana looked up at her and smiled brightly. Hey, unlike one of us, I wasn't sniffing your clothes earlier.
Oh, no.
She saw that?
Hell, you saw that? All right. Rey lifted her head and pointed her finger at Aliana. I did not sniff your robe, she said indignantly. You can't prove anything. The porg made a noise that Rey could only assume was to her detriment, considering how close he was nuzzled into Aliana's hold. Oh, don't take her side, she said sternly. Hey, I saw you from the cockpit window, Aliana snickered. You buried your face in my cloak and breathed deeply. It's cold out here. I was just warming up my face. I was not sniffing anything, Rey insisted despite the growing blush on her face. Rey, I'm honest with you as much as I can be. Can you be honest with me about something? Aliana asked. Rey huffed.
Fine.
You manipulative.
I'm blowing my nose. Okay.
This is just... You're both awful. You deserved each other, but I also don't want either of you to be happy.
You absolute gaslighting happy little shit.
Rey huffed. Only if it's not about sniffing your cloak. Do you think I'm hot? Aliana asked.
Jesus
oh my
fuck.
Fucking God.
No, come on.
Dude.
This
This is from the Var School of Flirting, dog. What the?
This isn't flirting. This is shoving two plastic action figures together.
I was about to fucking say.
Yeah.
This is Barbies with their legs locked. That's about it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
God.
a sauna with no steam.
Rey bit her lip as she thought about answering the question honestly. With how cold she had been for the past few hours and how flustered she was at the moment, she concluded that no lie she told would have been believable. Yes, she admitted. I do find you attractive. How does being cold factor into that at all?
I think she means like cold as in personality cold, like she'd been giving Aliana a cold shoulder.
I guess?
That's a stretch and a half.
Because it's cold out. Like you're I'm confusing things now because of this.
Yeah, Lily has that effect on people.
This
She
dialogue
was
is
lying
indescribable.
by saying that she was cold because she didn't want to admit that she was sniffing Aliana's clothes. And then she had to admit that, yes, she was being a creepy little shit and sniffing her clothes.
Who wrote this dialogue?
could have just said she
Lily-
was blowing her
Lily
nose.
Orchard. That's who.
Yeah, I was about to say, give her the credit that she definitely deserves.
This
I was
is the
gonna say
most
Thomas-
painful flirting interactions
I've
that
seen
ever
better.
read.
I've seen better flirting in Warframe. That's not a joke, by the way.
No, I was about to say I've seen better flirting in Armored Core. Like,
No, like,
Legit,
like, you know,
honestly.
like I'll explain after stream.
yeah,
but,
explain
like,
after the stream. But like, oh my God, this is just miserable. Aliana's smile.
Armored Core of all things.
Aliana's smile twitched a little wider and her cheeks flushed. Well, that explains why you've been acting so weird, she said. I hope you know that I don't expect anything of you. I'm not doing all this for you in hopes that you'll start to feel the same way about me that I do about you, she says, slowly pulling down her top. No, I'm kidding. Rey went to speak, but the words died in her throat. She honestly didn't know that that was the case. She said so like a billion fucking times.
What? No,
Okay.
no.
You
Look,
okay? At
object
this
permanence
point,
is not one
Rey.
of her strong suits.
Okay, at this point, Ray is just intentionally not taking the hit. That's the only way this makes sense.
I can fill
fuck
your
all
cup, even though you're one of son of beings.
Raymond, are you saying, Raymond, that this fight could be more preferable if Aliana was a bunch of talking minerals inside Ray's brain?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll be safe and sound.
Absolutely. There's a voice in my head and it calls me Stud Muffin.
Are you okay, bro?
Anyway. Yeah.
I'm not okay.
Go lay down. Bro. Eat
Yeah, I was gonna say,
story.
can you be a not okay quietly now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Rey went to speak, but the words died in her throat. She honestly didn't know that was the case. I appreciate that, she said, a fond smile starting to form on her face. I appreciate a lot of what you've done for me, Aliana. You're a good friend. She spoke truthfully, but still couldn't bring herself to look Aliana in the face as she spoke. It felt as though her feelings, as confusing as they were, threatened to burst out of her chest if she did. Aliana, for her part, had successfully managed to hide the joy she felt when she heard that Rey still considered her a friend, and reached over to lay a hand on her shoulder. Well, with Finn out of commission, you deserve a good friend in this cold, miserable place.
Finn out of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with Finn out of the way, I have no competition. That's how I read that. I just hope you don't get the wrong idea about. Not at all. Aliana shook her head. Lots of women find me attractive. It's not the earth-shattering revelation you might think it is. Don't worry, I know where we stand. Rey breathed a heavy sigh of relief. Thank you, she said gratefully. I'm starting to feel a little foolish for not coming forth about this sooner. About...
Oh, get friend zoned, Allie.
I am this fucking... This entire conversation needs to be scrapped. It's awful.
Yeah, who the fuck talks like this?
The porg squeaked inquisitively. You don't need to worry about that, Rey said to the critter. It's all right, Aliana smiled. I probably wouldn't have come forward about how I felt either if you hadn't held me at metaphorical gunpoint. She held you at actual
How
gunpoint.
romantic.
Like actual fucking gunpoint. Don't say it's metaphorical.
And lightsaber. And lightsaber
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You were at risk of dying. Rey felt her flushed face grow ever red. Ugh. This time in embarrassment. Her mind went back to the day she held Aliana, Finn, Chewie, and herself hostage. Wait. Her mind went back to the day she held Aliana, Finn, Chewie, and herself hostage, only for the truth she was demanding from her that she would be in love with her. That wasn't my smartest decision, I'll admit. First of all, I need to read this sentence one more time. Her mind went back to the day she held Aliana, Finn, Chewie, and herself hostage, only for the truth she was demanding from her to be that she was in love with her. My God, this is the case of the lesbian pronoun confusion to a fucking T. Second of all, you weren't holding yourself hostage, right? I don't. Ah! I've taken psychic damage.
It was super effective.
This is like that one scene.
I just realized, is this how Lily flirts with her wife?
This is like
I
that one
don't want to
scene.
know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't want.
But I
You know
think
what?
you
No,
can
no, no,
like
no.
guess.
You know what? Given all her Discord kittens, this makes absolute fucking sense. You would have to have a mind of a child to get into this shit.
Her Discord
God, don't
what?
remind me.
Is this like that one scene in Blazing Saddles where Rey is like holding a lightsaber to her head, like, "Tell me you love me, or the British woman gets it."
Aliana shrugged.
Jesus Christ.
In truth, having to confess under duress like that had been painful, but under the circumstances, she tried not to hold it against her. However, the sting she felt whenever she was reminded that Rey knew, and how she knew, continued to nag her. Maybe they'd talk about it sometime, but not for a while. Not for at least 2 more chapters before they got together. There would be time for her baggage later. Not much we can do about it now, she said simply as she threw another branch onto the fire. We can try and do better, Rey offered, a meek smile on her face. I can try and do better. Aliana was quiet for a moment, her face staring into the fire. For a moment, Rey thought she might have seen her eyes glistening. I appreciate that, Aliana smiled, and then Sam Wilson walks up beside her. You gotta do better! All right.
I was expecting that. I'll admit that. I was expecting several jokes to come with that next sentence, but then suddenly Sam Wilson is not one of them.
All right, Twy, you're
That
up.
was the last thing I wanted to hear.
Okay. What was the last thing that was said again?
There's a page break. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and we need to do better. Yeah, considering that you're starting from like rock bottom, that's a lot of effort.
There's a page break. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
There it is. Wrong. I appreciate that. Okay. Rey sat by the fire, wrapped up in Aliana's cloak, and feeling generally good about herself. She'd cleared the air that desperately needed clearing and felt like a huge weight had been lifted off her shoulders. Aliana had gone inside to find somewhere for the porg to sleep, and so she was alone, by a comforting fire and wrapped up in a warm cloak that smelled of her best friend, a fact she was considerably less embarrassed about admitting now.
Friend zone.
Oh,
What?
wow,
What? How are you
that whole paragraph
It
was
smells like.
so.
Wait, Allie's cloak smells like Finn?
Wait, what
That
the
whole
fuck?
paragraph was so bad.
Yeah, because his best friend, yeah. Finn and her have had like negative
That was such a bad
interaction.
paragraph. The joke didn't even land.
She sighed and sunk down into the soil, leaning her back against the rock and basking in the warmth of the fire. Nothing could possibly ruin this moment. Why do I keep seeing you? Criff. Rey's look of serene calmness turned into one of vitriol contempt as she glared at Kylo Ren, who now sat across from her. Go to hell, she said. She told the apparition, you're not real. Kylo looked around the campsite he found himself in. Can you see my surroundings? I can't see yours. I don't care what you can see, Rey snapped. Sooner or later, I'm going to find a way to get you out of my head. Kylo tilted his head in curiosity. Does your master not know about this? She's not my master, she bellowed at him, standing up to talk down at him. I love how he's just being so calm and rational. She's just screaming at him.
Bro is just like,
Yep.
huh? Does anyone know what this is happening? This is actually kind of weird. Let's
Yeah,
talk
just like
about this.
okay, look, we're kind of enemies, but like this is freaky, right?
I can't be the only one.
You got some shit to talk about, Ray?
I can't be the only one who thinks this is weird.
Oh no, this is like this is so
no,
fucking
you're right.
like hilarious that Kylo is kind of like the voice of reason, and you hate.
Yeah, the one reasonable one.
Yeah.
Oh my-
Meanwhile, Ray's just coping and seething.
Oh my god, wait a second. Does that mean that Lily somehow accidentally made Kylo Ren not a piece of shit in
No,
the
no,
work
no.
of...
She just made him late.
We can't be too sure about that. It's just right now, at this moment, he is being very calm and rational, which is very unusual for Lily because she loves writing him as like a literal toddler in a man's body.
Yeah, I know, so don't ruin this for me. I'm taking whatever I can get.
Maybe this isn't
Why haven't-
Kylo Ren. Maybe
Hey,
this
stop,
is Ben
stop,
Solo.
stop. Why haven't you told her? He asked curiously, rising from his seat to meet her gaze. You're keeping this from her for a reason. What could that be? Don't pretend to know me, you pathetic wretch, Ray growled. I know you better than you think, Kylo Ren.
Rilo Ken.
So, real talk, one of these days, Kylo just needs to say, like, lady, I just sat down.
I don't know what's going on. Why am I seeing you? These are logical questions. I'm scared. I want my mommy.
I'm just trying to eat my Reese's Puffs, man.
I know you better than you think, Kylo countered. I may know you better than you know yourself. You don't know anything, Ray seethed. You're just a murderous grease stain.
You don't
Is
know
that what the
anything,
Sith told
Kylo
you?
Ren. No, wrong series with dark-haired protagonists. And don't worry about it.
Is that what the Sith told you? Or Skywalker? Kylo asked. It's what I saw with my own 2 eyes. Can you even trust that? Kylo asked. You don't know if I'm really here or not. You could just be going insane. Don't play games with me, Ray said with this low sneer. You are a spoiled, helpless worm of a person. I broke you before, I'll do it again. Then get rid of me right now, Kylo taunted. Prove your superiority.
Don't
call her.
Just your phone
now,
just
holy
click and
shit.
just hangs up.
Call her fucking bluff.
We cut to
Wow, a
Kylo
full
Ren.
scene with Kylo Ren.
We cut to
in this
Kylo Ren on
story?
his like fucking starship and just like you just hear the busy tone, the pop 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 pop. Bitch hung up on me.
Damn.
Is this actual dialogue from the movie? Because I'm actually kind of enjoying this. This is way
not
too
really.
good.
No,
Honestly,
I actually I don't know. I think it's modified from the movie. It's along the same lines of it, I want to say.
Kylo is calmer in the movie where he's talking to Rey, and she's a bit off because obviously, like, he just got done killing Han Solo from her perspective, and he's like confused. But beyond that, like, the whole like "do it, bitch" kind of energy is not there.
Yeah, she's a lot less confrontational.
Well, obviously, like that is Lily, but like the fact that Kylo is being out of character for this fanfic is very unusual, and I'm quite enjoying it. So that's why I'm like, I don't believe that this is actually Lily's writing. Anyway.
Congratulations, Ryan Johnson. We were too hard on you.
Ray had been trying to do that, but because she had no idea how or why she was seeing him in the first place, she didn't even know where to start. She knew that it was because she was still mostly untrained and there were things about the Force that she couldn't yet comprehend. But being in this position again... What about being in this position again?
I there's the part where you need to, like, elaborate on that to finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the anime pause thing. I don't know.
Unable to resist as this parasite invaded her mind whenever he wished. She hung her head and growled in frustration. Now that's more like the girl I saw, helpless and whimpering as I combed through her mind like it was an open book. Kylo taunted her. What hope could you possibly have if you can't even keep your own mind closed?
No, pause.
If I'm so...
What the fuck? You couldn't get a fucking thing out of her. She resisted you the entire time. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, I like you right now, but you've accomplished
Jack and
nothing.
shit.
Nothing.
And Jack left town.
and shit's on sabbatical.
Yeah.
Domestical.
If I'm so easy to read, why didn't that save you on Ilum? She grumbled. Maybe this is my punishment for not killing you when I had the chance.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is a sign that your only hope to master the Force is through me, Kylo said, stepping closer to her. Don't come near me, Rey shouted. The Sith doesn't really care about you. She only wants you for her twisted fantasies, Kylo said, ignoring her demand. I said get back. Rey her hand up to swat the dark Jedi away.
She just holds like her own mask.
Rey just goes.
Like her to Kylo.
Rey just holds her hand and be like, "Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my private square."
No square. Also,
Well, her hand made no contact. No. Also,
Yeah, okay. That's a great example of the conversation died. We're moving on.
While her hand made no contact, the fire before her suddenly roared to a new life, shooting meters high into the air. The suddenness of the act caused Rey to shoot back and fall against the rock. The main hutch of the Fury opened and Aliana came running down the ramp. Rey, are you all right? She'll use you, Kylo hissed directly in her ear. It's in her nature. Shut up, Rey said, convulsing in disgust at Kylo's proximity. You're not real. Aliana came around the rock and knelt down in front of her. Rey, what's the matter? She stopped and she touched Rey's hand. She could feel something, a presence in the Force. Closing her eyes, she focused and covered both of them in the same veil of dark side energy that she'd used to sneak into Starkiller Base. She felt the presence vanish now that it could no longer connect with either of them.
Aliana's just like, why do I hear caramel dancing? It's like it's the constant song in the back of Kylo's head. Kylo Ren dancing! Oh my god, it actually works out.
Rey looked to her side to see Kylo Ren blink out of existence as she felt the eerie chill of the dark side swarm around her. She looked down at Aliana, who had opened her eyes and was looking at her with concern, still holding her hand. Better? She asked softly. Yes, Rey said, not realizing that she was holding her breath. Thank you. I don't know what that was. Same thing as earlier today, Aliana prompted. It must be, Rey said. Something inside of her still didn't want to admit to Aliana that she kept seeing Kylo Ren. She didn't want her worrying more about her than she already was. She wanted to prove that she could deal with this, if to no one else but herself.
Okay, pause. Thought. So prose is a very important thing when you're trying to convey esoteric concepts like the Force. It's the only way that we can really engage with the sensations that come with it. And what interests me is how characters interpret the sensations that come with that, particularly in the prose. So when you're writing from someone's perspective, it affects how the prose conveys that information to you. Good example of this, I find it very puzzling. It was an earlier paragraph, how Aliana described the eerie chill of the dark side swarming around her. Oh no, was that? No, that was Rey. Well, but Rey that actually raises more problems because one, if it were Aliana saying that, it'd be like, that shouldn't be eerie. That should be comforting to some degree. It's something you're very familiar with. It's something that you should be able to like relate to some degree, if not be completely comfortable with. But if it's Rey, how does she understand the distinction between the eerie chill of the dark side when she is so unexperienced in identifying the feelings of the Force? It should just be an eerie feeling.
I actually brought this up.
You can identify this specific dark side because it feels so greasy.
I actually brought this up a few streams ago. Hey, I actually brought this up a few streams ago. A lot of writers, not just Lily, they have a really hard time describing what the Force feels like. which is why when Rey was like viewing the Force as like working with mechanics, I was actually kind of pleased with that. And,
yeah,
you
she
know,
did
I
it
brought
good
up
once
how-
and then just failed after that every single time.
Yeah, so
Weird.
it's not just Lily who has problems describing the Force.
To the point
so-
that I'm willing to bet that mechanics example was something she stole from a different fanfic.
Probably.
I mean, I did tell you about
Okay.
fanfic where
Let's
We're good,
stop
we're
with the
good.
conversation now, guys. You still don't want to talk about it? Aliana asked. When Rey shook her head, she frowned slightly, but didn't press the issue. Instead, she took a scrap of cloth and wiped Rey's eyes. It was only then that Rey realized that she'd started crying. She could hardly put up a coherent thought together before she noticed her own tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me, she said in a choked, broken voice. It wasn't necessarily a lie. She knew Kylo Ren was in her head. She didn't know how or why or what to do. Well, I won't make you talk about it, Aliana said, taking a rare initiative and pulling Rey closer as she wrapped her arms around her protectively. She wanted to say something else to her, to comfort her, and maybe make her open up, but instead she just held her. She hoped this would be enough to make her feel more at ease. Rey clung to Aliana as tightly as she could, as if wind would sweep her away if she didn't. She lost the will to hold back the choked sob in her throat. Everything she felt in the cell on Starkiller Base just came rushing back to her in the worst possible way, and she couldn't handle it. She could barely speak or think. She just cried. Aliana felt something on her chest break as she stroked Rey's hair and cradled her as she completely broke down in her arms. She wanted so desperately to help the poor girl, but that Rey wouldn't tell her anything, left her with little to do other than offer whatever comfort that she could think of. Whatever it was, she knew that she had to be connected with what happened on Starkiller Base, whatever that had been. She knew that the grease stain of a Jedi was involved somehow.
That grease. The grease.
Gotta get that grease.
Right.
It's so
She just
greasy.
She keeps bringing up grease.
At this rate, no wonder the First Order is winning. They are quite literally a well-oiled machine with Kylo on their side.
All that grease.
What did you do to this girl? She whispered audibly, not realizing that she had done so right next to Rey's ear. She's done nothing wrong. I fucking hate that. Rey pulled away to look at Aliana, confusion etched into her tear-streaked face. What? She asked through a cracked voice. Oh, I didn't realize you could hear. I was just wondering what that grease stain did to you to put you in this kind of state, because I don't know how to think inside my own head, so I have to speak audibly. Aliana said, still holding Rey. I don't know why anyone would want to hurt you this badly. Rey felt her breath catch in her throat. Aliana knew, of course, she knew. She wasn't an idiot. A part of her was panicking, not wanting to admit that she was right. Another, much louder part of herself, however, was taken aback with just how kind and warm Aliana's words to her were. I don't know what's going on, why she's off doing this, or if it's why he's doing this, or if it's even him, Rey admitted meekly between sniffles. But I'll take care of it. I think once I start my training, I can make it go away.
I just heard, I don't know what's going on. I just thought, what is going on? I don't have the slightest clue. I just punched a cow. Ba-da-ba-da.
Oh man,
That is some old
That
school
that
Bridge
takes me
series
back.
shit.
Yeah. That was for
It's not-
Luro, right?
Yeah, I was
Go away. Is he... Aliana stopped herself inside. She couldn't push Rey to tell her. If she was going to be adamant about it, she had to wait for her to come for help if she needed it. Do you want me to let go? No, Rey said rather pitifully, clinging to Aliana even harder than before. The fire had begun to die and fade into embers in the light of its explosive outburst. Aliana was the softest and warmest thing that Rey could find at the moment. Aliana wanted to smile and feel flattered that Rey was clinging to her, but the way she seemed so desperately bury her face into her shoulder couldn't bring any kind of positive feeling. It just made her more worried. So she simply held her silently and tucked her head under her chin. If this was what her friend needed from her, then she'd be more than happy to provide it.
Almost there. We're in the
Almost
last
done?
section for
Right
this
there with
chapter.
Yes.
Are we done yet?
Yes. Oh yes, I can see the light.
Need a drink.
What kind?
She's hitting the hard stuff.
Yep. I'm hitting the hard water.
Enough.
Aliana rubbed her eyes as she sat down on the couch. She had to carry Rey back inside to bring her back to her. Why? Whatever she'd seen, it had freaked her out pretty badly. She only hoped that she would open up about it sooner rather than later. You know what? Not even my Otome that I've been playing treat the player character like this much of a child.
Yep.
poor
This is so
baby.
infantilizing. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The baby had a
creepy.
bad dream.
So do we think she carried her fireman style?
No,
As
she
she went over
carried
a
her like a
data-
sack of potatoes, like throwing her back first over her shoulder. So she was carrying it by the legs with her belly facing up. If it makes any sense.
You know,
Wow.
because she's such a Chad.
Yeah.
That would hurt.
Would it?
I've been carried
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past this pros to think that was perfectly normal.
I've been carried like that. It's not comfortable.
Yeah, because your spine isn't supposed to bend that way.
You're
She
one of
went
the
over-
several kinks.
As she went over a data pad containing communications from the Resistance, she quietly wondered about the presence she'd felt. She hadn't so much as heard a whisper until she touched Rey's hand, and then it was like a bright explosion in the Force. Her mind wandered to the many historical records she perused over the years, and one hypothesis came to her. "Hey, 2V," she asked. "Yes, Allie," 2V replied, stepping out from the cargo hold. "Is Miss Rey all right? Does she need another blanket?" "She's asleep, but she's not all right." Aliana shook her head. "Could you do me a favor? Compile all the information in the Fury's databanks relating to the Force bonds and put it into the data pad for me. I've got a new mysteries." Why is it always you?
Because she.
Why do you have to do literally everything?
McGonagall's just
Yeah.
like, why is it always you one?
Oh.
Can we just have
Lightning
for once?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait, oh no, I got.
I just left for a second.
That's the same picture. What the
No,
fucking hate that it's so late. I wish I could laugh harder. Oh my god.
I mean, Lily might see like, you know, a clear difference, but I personally don't. I just see two like attractive
Well,
people.
one's a man, one's a woman.
No. Once a man, once a waxworks figure of a woman from Madame Tussauds in London.
Wait a minute.
Oh no!
Hey,
Okay, we have 3 paragraphs left. Let's get through this.
Let's go, boys.
At once, Allie, 2V said dutifully before making his way to the records room. "Sorting through data is one of my favorite pastimes." "Thanks, 2V. Love you," Aliana said as she continued to look through the Resistance's reports. It was the only lead that she had to go on, but it might just prove to be fruitful. And her suspicions were correct, and the Force had decided to form a bond between Rey and Kylo Ren. There left only one question. How could she sever it?
oh my god.
She's gonna try to be the third wheel to this relationship.
Oh my god.
okay.
I
Can I
can
just say
sever myself
something?
from this
Can I just say
fanfic.
something? One problem I just realized about Luke letting Ollie on the island. Why would he be like? Why would Luke be not like? Why would he even allow the risk of Rey being exposed to the dark side?
That
Also,
that
don't
was something
forget-
that I raised. Like, why would Luke do any of this?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
and
wasn't-
don't forget-
I wasn't listening.
And don't forget, Luke has the sacred texts on those islands.
The secret
If
text.
she-
The frick?
Yeah.
Look, man, those just have stick figure drawings in them. They're useless, man.
All right. Well,
But they're
Yeah,
sacred.
it's all about failure, baby.
I suppose now,
There's no greater
like,
failure
God,
than
this fic, when we come back to it, I am looking forward to seeing how she does The Last Jedi, the worst of the fucking trilogy. And then she does The Rise of Skywalker, also known as the worst of the frickin' trilogy.
Okay,
So,
all right.
yes.
Okay, so which one's the worst of the trilogy?
They all are. They all are the worst of the
Yeah.
trilogy. This is a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
awful
it's
All
trilogy.
Yes,
trilogy's
yes.
bad. That's the joke.
Oh my god.
But yes, I'm
The
going
answer
to
is
swap
yes.
us over to see the results
Finally.
of all of our votes.
Dun,
Oh,
dun,
by the way,
dun.
All right, let's go.
All right, let me
Darn that.
fanfiction.
What's that like?
Yeah, can I properties? Where is it? Brave results.
Hey,
There it is.
Celtic, I don't know if you know this, but it looks like your admin rights are only temporary.
Yes, they are only temporary.
But what's not temporary is the $1 donation you can make to the Celtic Phoenix Patreon getting access to the Tundra Discord server.
I knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming, and also, technically speaking, that is temporary.
It is temporary. Yeah, it's 1 month at a time.
Yeah.
All right, but there we go. We have our results from everyone voting in the straw poll. I hope you all managed to put your votes in, but that means with a clear 6-point lead, we have the Ruby overpowered original character fanfic that we found.
Oh,
Which is
I don't even
called-
remember. Oh god, it's just the Sith, oh god, it's just gonna be the Sith Resurgence again, isn't it?
It's called Ruby Project Alpha.
Yep.
Which
Project
I don't know how that's going to go. Did you have any
I
hopes
got
for
a
a
bad
fic
fanfic
winner? I
I
kind of was hoping for Shadow the Conqueror, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, honestly. Though that one would be another long one.
Yeah, but we've been talking about it a lot on stream, so it's like that
Mhm.
after the Shad stuff. So like, being able to cover more of Shad's growing senility would be just phenomenal.
It's quite a long book.
Maybe
Also,
we-
thank you, Lightning, for updating the shush image.
Yes, good stuff.
It's only for Christmas though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Sorry for.
Have a very merry shut the fuck up, miss.
Yep. Just sorry that I had to be the recipient for that. It was well deserved.
But yes, next week or maybe the week after, depending if we want to take a break for Christmas and just make sure everyone's got a good happy holidays and that kind of stuff. I'll get a barometer on the room and all that. We'll begin going into the Ruby OC. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I had a miserably wonderful time, as you typically do with Bad Fanfiction Night. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Catch you
Goodbye.
on the flip side.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.